Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm excited again this evening. Yes, it's about time. We are starting. I want to welcome everyone to today's program. I want to say thank you for always attending this meeting out of your busy schedule, bringing out time, creating time to come around and listen to this program. Yes, last week we talked about you know, Jackpot insurance, travel insurance. We know Jackpot is what is in the season. So we talked about the benefits, why you need to put in place your travel insurance when you are going, when you know you are traveling, you need to arrange your travel insurance. Today we want to look at the importance of insurance in international trade. You will all agree with me that there is no economy or there is no country that can survive by operating a closed economy. Every thriving economy, every thriving country that will have a buoyant economy will always operate an open economy. How do I mean by that? That is, countries of the world, they always, they open up their economy. There will always be interaction. Just like as human beings, human beings, you cannot thrive, you cannot survive in isolation. We will always need ourselves. I mean, as human beings, we always need the help. We will always need ourselves. So also countries, economies of nations cannot survive operating on only what they are producing. That you want to say, oh, you recall the time that our president say he's closing the economy. You know how harsh the whole thing is, and because you can even still see the biting effects on our economy up to now. So for every economy that will thrive, that will survive, we operate. Such economy we have to operate on an open economy. So there will be, whatever you are producing in your country, you want to take it to other neighboring countries, to other countries, in form of exportation. That is what we call exportation. And whatever other countries you are producing, you want to bring them in. That is what we call importation. So, and this is what brought about international trade. So international trade is about you having cross-border sales, as in whatever you are producing in your country, you are like, okay, it's not only for the consumption of your country. You want to reach out to other countries. So you are taking your products, your goods from your country to another country. And in the other country too, whatever they are producing, they are bringing it, they are sending it out to other countries. So that is what brought about international trade. Countries come together, they do international trade. That is when you are trading outside the shores of your country. So that is international trade. So today, we want to look at the importance of insurance in international trade. We want to see how the significance, we want to see the significant role insurance play in the international trade. Now, so to start, we will be looking at marine insurance today. And then all this kind of insurance, we classify them as special risk. So for a few weeks from now, we'll be talking about special risk. We'll be talking about one form of insurance that supports international trade. So today, let's look at marine insurance. So the marine insurance, the concept of the concept of insurance originated from international trades. Those early days, the merchants, you remember when we discussed in this meeting the origin, the genesis, the origin of insurance, how insurance started, when those merchants, those early days, like they are trying to salvage their goods, when they are taking their goods from one place to another, from one country to another, they try to portion it, they are trying to mitigate their risk. So before we now come about the concept of insurance. So when you're talking of insurance today, most of those insurance principles emanated or were derived from marine insurance. So marine insurance is an old age form of insurance. It's I mean, those principles of insurance, the principle like maybe insurable interest, those indemnity, all those principles, most of them, they are derived. You get some of those insurance laws, they were derived from the insurance, marine insurance. So today, just like I said, we're talking about marine insurance, and what exactly is a marine insurance? Marine insurance is a type of insurance that provides cover to the loss of goods or damages to goods on the terminals or on the sea in the course of transit from one destination to another. Just like when I was introducing to us this topic, I said, I mean, economies, there will be traders who always want to bring their goods from one place to another, and also from one country to another. So, and when you are taking your goods for sale, when you are taking it from one country to another, that means you will engage a form of transportation. So when you want to take them on the sea, when you want to take your goods, you want to cross your goods on the sea, that is what we mean by marine transportation. And to do that, because all these goods, I mean, they are huge sum of money. The cost of money that is involved is huge. So for such traders to have their peace of mind, to salvage their loss should it occur, it is pertinent, it is very, very germane, it is very, very important that you put on your marine insurance. Now, let's look at some of the perils that marine insurance cover. Generally, we have marine cargo and we have marine hull. Those are the, if you want to have broad classification of marine insurance, you talk about marine cargo and you talk about marine hull, all are machinery. So let us look at some of the perils that are being covered when you are engaging in marine insurance. We have theft, fire, vessel grounding, capsizing, and collision. You see, just like I said, that in those ancient days, as it were in those times, it's still also now, because when you are crossing your goods on the sea, on the high sea, on the sea, there are what we call pirates. These are sea thefts. These are the people that they go there to hijack people's goods. That is theft. But we call them sea pirates. So you insure your goods against theft, against such perils, such activities, such criminal activities, such unruly activity of people that may want to hijack your goods, that may want to steal your goods away from you. So your marine insurance, it provides cover against theft. So when you are bringing your goods from one country to another, and maybe in the course of transit, the goods it got stolen. The goods got stolen. I mean, if you have your marine insurance, your marine insurance will speak to that. Now, the next one, let's talk about fire. You can see my pictures. For those of you that are in this room, you have, look at example of a vessel bringing the goods, and suddenly the goods catches fire. Your marine insurance will speak to that. Some of the perils that is fire is also a peril that is covered under marine insurance. When the goods got fired because of being shipped from one country to another on the sea, it's your marine insurance will speak to that. Now let's look at the next peril that's being covered, which is I put here vessel grounding. How do I mean by that vessel grounding? Ships, when your vessel, the ship that is being used to convey the goods, when it got stopped, maybe it's a form of accident. Maybe he lost his way and he did not get pass through the right path and he got stuck on the sea. So you call that vessel grounding. So when you are put on your marine insurance under hull or marine or that will speak to that. So also we have capsizing. I have another picture to portray capsizing. When the ship, you can see for those of you in the room, you can see that the goods, turning into the sea. I mean, that's a very huge loss. Imagine if the owner of those goods do not insure the goods. I mean, that can be the end of that business. So marine insurance, when it is very, very vital when you are doing international trade, when you have cost to move your goods from one country to another or from one sea to another. So it is very, very important. So it's covered capsizing when the ship capsizes, when it tumbles in the water. The marine insurance will speak to that. It covers it. It's part of the peril that is covered under marine insurance. Then collision. How do I mean by collision? Maybe, you have 2, 3 vessels on the sea, and just like the normal collision you have when you are talking of car insurance, when there could be head-on collision, there could be collision because transporting on the water is a form of transportation. So just like you have in other forms of like in car transportation, that you can have collision, your two cars can collide. So also it's possible that two ships can collide. So when collision occurs, that is it results in an accident. So your marine insurance covers collision. So it's part of the peril that is being covered under marine insurance. So these are some of the perils that are covered under marine insurance. Now let's look at those who need marine insurance. What are the categories of people that need marine insurance? You have manufacturers who import or export either their raw material or finished product. Like if you are a manufacturer, maybe you are let's say for example, a car manufacturing company like Nord Motors, for example. In Nigeria now we now have companies that assemble vehicles like that. Sen or Nord, they will now have to import some of the materials they will use to assemble their vehicles. So if you are dealing with if you are a manufacturer, you are manufacturing goods and you need your raw material. Maybe you cannot source raw material locally. Maybe you have to get a lot raw materials from outside the country. You have to import it, and if you are bringing in, maybe you are bringing them through water, which is marine means of transportation. Then you need a marine insurance cover. You need marine insurance cover. Or maybe your finished goods, your products, you may decide that just like the Dangote that is constructing his refinery, you will not be selling it to only Nigeria, you will be exporting it. So maybe you want to export your goods, your finished goods, you will need marine insurance. If you are carrying them on the sea, so you need marine insurance. The logistics providers, there are some companies that they are not manufacturing, but they help people to package their goods, either to bring the people's goods into the country or outside the country. So those logistics providers, they will need marine insurance. The importers of goods and exporters of goods, wholesalers, all forms of business that will have to involve you, maybe having to get one or two things from outside the shores of your country. If you have to leave the shores of your country to get your product or to get one or two things that you will need, and you have to carry them in volume and their goods, you will need to cover your goods. Why do you need to cover your goods? By now, we know what it means to put insurance on your to get insurance cover on your risk, because it gives you that peace of mind. You know that you have a backup if that loss occurs. So you know that you have that backup when that loss occurs. So those are the categories of people that need marine insurance. Now, let's look at some forms of cover under cargo. No, I told us generally you have cargo, marine, and you have marine cargo and you have marine hull. But now, under marine cargo, there's what we call institute cargo clause. But generally everybody used to say, oh, if you want to do marine, you say, oh, is it clause A, clause B, or clause C? People just call it clause A, clause, but the full meaning of it is the institute cargo clause, because it's an institute of cargo insurance. It's a form of people that come together that have that consensus that, okay, this and this will be the terms of cover that will be providing. So if you want clause A, which we usually refer to it as clause A, if you want ICCA, that is Institute Cargo Clause A, that one is a form of comprehensive cover. You remember when we were talking about comprehensive cover for your vehicle insurance, what comprehensive cover insurance always covers. It covers both third-party liability and owner's liability. It's a comprehensive form of cover. When you are putting on a clause A instead of cargo clause A, marine cargo, it covers your vehicle, your goods, from point of destination to delivery. So whatever happens in the course of transit, you are fully covered. Why clause B is a restricted cover? It's not all you have in clause A that is covered in clause B. It's a form of restricted cover. And clause C is like very limited cover. Like I want to compare it, liken it to what we have in our third party. You recall when we were talking about third party insurance, we said it covers only the third party liability. So it's only a liability that is so limited to only the third party. So it's not a comprehensive, it's not a full cover. When you are going for your clause C, it's as if you are not just covering yourself, except you are not a serious businessman. If you are a serious person, you want complete peace of mind when you put your vessel on the sea, or when your cargo are on the sea, then you go for Institute Cargo Clause A, because that is what will give you that comprehensive cover, that be it capsizing, be it fire, be it theft, be whatever happens to your goods, be it maybe it's stolen, whatever happens, you know that your insurer will provide indemnity. Your insurer will provide indemnity for you. And just like I told us that the funds involved in all this in marine, the funds involved in exporting or importing goods, it's not small money. So if you are committing a lump sum of money into business, then you should protect your capital. To protect your capital is through insurance. If you want to protect your capital, you want to know that, because insurance, just like we have always said, it restores you. It's a form of a succor that you will get when you you are an international trader, you want to export your goods or you want to import it. You must think, in fact, one of the criteria, one of the documentation is your insurance documentation. it must be there, because it's just, you cannot even do as a trader, as a merchant. Just like I told us, you can imagine those even early days, that these people, in those early days, that those people were involved in early international trade, they knew that they just must cover that, they just must salvage their loss, that they just must mitigate their losses. So that is why even insurance is traced down to marine insurance, because in those early days, when people had to transport their goods, they have to think out of the box that if this good is lost, what will be my fate? So some decide to say, okay, I'm portioning it one by one. At least if one vessel is capsized or is caught fire, at least I will still have my other goods. So everyone who is into international business, whose business involves taking goods from one country to another on the sea, we understand the need for marine insurance. So this is what I have for us today. Marine insurance, the importance of it. We'll still be talking about special rates for a few weeks from now. So because we have lots of things to talk about. So I want to stop here because we all know that this is an interactive session. So if you have any question or you have a contribution, you can, you can say, this is the time now. So what we've discussed today, we have talked about the importance, the significance of insurance in the international trade. And what we examine this evening is the importance of the marine insurance, how it affects, how it contributes to salvaging the financial loss that will arise in course of transporting your goods from one country to another. Do I have anybody in the house who wants to ask a question or who wants to contribute to what I've said? I usually leave room for contribution or question so that to make the program interactive. So if I do not have anyone, so in form of recap, just like I told us, the objective of this program is to provide solutions to the knowledge gap within the insurance industry, the credibility of insurance services, and to demystify the complexity of claim processing. So okay, I have someone raising hand. Mr. Peter, kindly unmute and ask the question. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir.
In a new dimension today.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to find out.
Okay.
I want to start exporting cashew nuts.
Okay.
Overseas now. So, what type of insurance will I need to ensure that my cashew nuts get to the destination of the foreign importer I want to buy my cashew nuts?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, it's
okay. Sorry, you answer.
Okay.
Again, I want to be importing cars from Germany. Now, many of my customers are asking for Mercedes-Benz automatic GL 450. And I want to be shipping them down here. So, what type of insurance will I get? And how will I go about it?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you for that question. You said maybe you want to start your cashew nut. When you are involved in international trade, there are some standards that need to be met. if you are to import cashew nuts, it should be packaged. Everything will be packaged, and there will be a required quantity. Just like I said, that it's not just easy that you want to ship small thing from one country to another because of the cost implication and whatever. So it must meet a standard requirement. So, and it will be packaged. And since you want to ship it, because if you want to ship it, that is when you will need marine insurance. If you are not shipping it, if you are taking if you want to use plane, that's another form of insurance that we'll still talk about. So if you are shipping it in, so what you will need is that marine cargo, because cargo are those loads, how you have packaged your goods that you want to send outside the shores of your country. So it is still that marine cargo that you will need, because you would have packaged it, you will transfer it on the sea. So you will need that marine insurance, that marine cargo insurance. Because you are not the owner of the vessel, so you don't need marine hull. It is the owner of the vessel, those ship owners, that do marine hull. But if you are just importing or exporting your goods, it is just your cargo that you will cover. I believe I've been able to answer your question, sir. Then also, even if you are importing those vehicles too, you still have to, if you are still importing them through sea, you still have to cover it, because in the course of bringing the vehicle, anything can happen on it. I mean, it can capsize, it can be hijacked, it can be just those ferries that we have discussed today. So for the safe landing of your vehicles that you are importing to, you still need to put marine cargo insurance on it. I believe I've been able to answer your question, sir. Have I been able to answer your question, sir? Mr. Peter. Oh, good evening, sir, Mr. Fatai.
Just let me add to what you said.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Depending on, thank you, ma'am, for answering my question.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Peter, sir, depending on the trade agreement you have with the person that is lying at the other end, there is what is called Incoterms, that international trade terminology that you put on your invoice. Who is responsible for the goods until you get to the final destination? If you are responsible, you handle the insurance. You have to make sure that the goods arrive safely at the other end, unless and until the goods arrive there, but if the goods have been paid off for, that means you are not responsible for the insurance. The buyer that is responsible for the insurance. So that's one thing that you need to look at when you are entering into trade agreement with any buyer. That's when you are responsible. So you need your authority. If you are the one responsible, it's advisable for them as well. You use the stay to do it. Since you are importing expensive vehicles that can be built from stolen or some items, you have to materialize it. And that will reduce your loss. And it's advisable also, since the goods are expensive, people things can be very high. You have to take ICC in. But if the vehicles you are importing is very old, more than 10 years, 15 years, you can use ICC. Because that's a major casualty. But for expensive goods, you need to use ICC. And it also depends who is funding your business. Is it the bank or you are using your money? If it is the bank will insist on ICC. And to get how to do it, that's what you are done. To get your amount. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Fatai. It's been a while. Thank you for your contribution. So I believe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter, for your question. Do we still have another person who wants to ask question? So just like I said that we are gradually enter into special risk. we started with travel insurance last week. Well, so this, but today, having continued with the marine insurance, so we classified these ones as special risk. So we started it. So for a few weeks, like 2-3 weeks, we'll be talking about special risk. So if you still have any other question, I think you can say ask. We have 1 minute more. So I want to appreciate everyone. So if you know anyone who is into importing, exporting, or logistics business, you can refer them to us, and we'll do justice to, to get them covered. So you can always, and if you are in need of any form of insurance, you can always contact me. My phone number is 080-269-40605, or you can send mail to me at info@graceojoblog.org, bimboconsultancy@gmail.com. We'll always guide you, just like Mr. Fatai has said. So I want to appreciate everyone that has participated in today's program. I want to appreciate everyone that always take out time to watch this program, and even those this program is live streamed. Those that will still watch it later, because live streaming, it will still record, it will still, one can always get back to watch it. So I believe some people will still see it later, because it will be uploaded on it is live streamed directly to my YouTube channel. So I believe so many people will still see it later, and I want to appreciate everyone that will come across my program on my YouTube, Grace Ojo blog channel. And I really want to appreciate everyone. My passion for insurance is for everyone to get to understand why they need insurance, to get to understand the need for insurance, and to get to understand that insurance is not as it was perceived in the yesteryears, that a lot of improvements, that the insurance has moved away from the erroneous perception. So, but the most important thing is engaging the services of a professional in the industry. So, as a broker, I will always be there to guide you appropriately, and you always have good testimony about your insurance cover. Thank you, and do have a wonderful evening. Let's meet again next week. Okay.
Well done. I also want to add a little thing.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Yeah. Good evening. Well done for the good job you're doing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Just to encourage people that they shouldn't just watch your program. They should, especially on YouTube and Facebook, they should hit the like button and share.
Thank you.
Every time they come.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So I really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank
really
you.
Educating us on insurance.
Thank you, madam. I really appreciate it, ma'am. And you too, ma'am. Thank you so much. So always let me to share my YouTube channel and subscribe to it. Thank you so much. Do have a great evening. Let's meet again next week, same time between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Do have a great evening. Yeah. Thank you. I want to stop and I want to end the program. Recording stopped.